the Saints go marching all the way down to the last place in the NFC South this year, Terry.
Not a possibility. I don't even know why or how you would even think this shit in your whole brain. Not even based off of the game that just happened, but based off of the Panthers are absolutely horrible. They got worse at quarterback by getting rid of Teddy Bridgewater. Second, the Falcons, your boys, are absolutely horrible once again, getting rid of their best receiver and didn't really get much in return, in my opinion. And then you got the Bucs. The Bucs are gonna be great. The Bucs do what they do. Second, and no further down. Second place. That's it. There's no way they're getting. How are they gonna lose? Have a better or worse record than the Panthers and the Falcons? Explain that to me. Explain that.
Well, I tell you what. I wrote this article before I saw the Falcons play.
Did you not watch any of the preseason games? Did you not see the acquisitions?
We didn't play any of the starters. I was like, this has no bearing on the real football.
Shit. Can you guys stop the pass? Can you guys stop the run? No and no. So what's going down? 0-16.
Man, we couldn't stop E. coli if we were working at McDonald's, Terry. All right? But it's not about us right now. All right? You asked about the Panthers. How are they going to be better than the Saints? Well, let's think about reclamation projects, man. A lot of times in the NFL, you throw somebody into a bad situation, throw them to the Wolves or the Lions, and then at 2-3 years, you give up on them. He didn't have none of the pieces around him. People forget Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year. All right? Every quarterback that Adam Gase has touched has looked 10 times better as soon as he leaves him. See Tannehill, Ryan.
Yeah.
And the play caller in Carolina, Joe Brady, is like this hotshot whiz kid. Lots of pre-snap movement. Like, screen game is on point. Stretches the field horizontally and vertically.
I hear you.
I think they could be like – some people could be sleeping on the Panthers because they forget that Teddy Bridgewater couldn't throw the ball more than 15 yards downfield last season.
No. Who's the quarterback now? Name him. What's his name? Give it to me.
Sam Darnold.
What did he do? Did he show you anything great?
He showed me he could run a West Coast system where you throw 7-yard passes until the whole team gets on top of you.
How is that any different than what Teddy Bridgewater was doing?
Because once they condense the field down, Darnold's got that big arm to hit him over the top.
Who's he going to throw it to?
Who else? But his boy from the Jets, Robbie Anderson. Reunited and it feels so good.
You really think so, huh, buddy?
Oh, I really think so.
Is that what you think?
I think that Sam Darnold, from a talent standpoint, is right there with Jameis Winston. But the weapons he has around him, much, much better. Think about all the people the Saints lost in this offseason, man.
They did lose a lot of pieces.
They lost Drew Brees. They lost Michael Thomas to the physically unable to perform list. They lost
Thomas is a big one.
Trey Hendrickson. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. They lost Jared Cook at the tight end spot.
Yeah.
On defense, they lost Malcolm Brown. They lost Sheldon Rankins. They lost their sack leader. They also lost their director of pro personnel to come work for the Falcons, who's the guy who normally would be in charge of picking up the league's trash and turning into treasure on the Saints.
Shit.
And you know what else they lost, Terry?
What?
They lost their home field advantage till mid-October because Hurricane Katrina 2.0 came and fucked their ass.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's a big one. That is a big one. But let me tell you something right now. I'm not even going to talk about the Saints destroying the Packers, who were in the NFC Championship game last year. I'm only going to talk about the Panthers beating the Jets by what? Only 5 points?
Came down to the wire, didn't it?
I mean, the Jets are predicted to get the number 1 overall pick in the NFL. If you guys didn't know this, that means
clearly
your team
didn't see the Falcons play week 1.
If y'all didn't know this, that just means that the Jets are absolutely trash, and they're going to be the worst team in football this year. And the Panthers could barely beat this team. All right, that's all I saw was a bunch of sloppy plays, and they're just lucky that they played the Jets week 1 because they would have been 0-1 just like the Falcons and almost like the Bucs were. All right, I do not want to hear none of this shit. The Jets are horrible. You couldn't name 3 people on their team besides the quarterback.
Mekhi Becton. All right, they got wait a minute. They got Tevin Coleman at running back. And
hey, look.
At wide receiver, they got Corey Davis.
Corey Davis? Who the hell is that?
He used to play at Tennessee, former first-round pick.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, and you're not a casual. You know what I'm saying? So that was difficult for you.
That was kind of tough, though. I'm not going to lie.
I'm just telling you.
Your brain goes blank when you got to think of like no-name dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just based off of that, we can go ahead and do overreaction, week 1 type of thing, but Panthers look bad.
I refuse to overreact the other way. I'm going to underreact to week 1, and I'm going to overreact to sticking to my guns and the stupid shit that comes out of my mouth. All right? Terry, I don't care that the Saints look like the second coming of Jesus himself descending from heaven and dismantling the Packers. I'm not going to do that. But
I didn't talk about that. I was just saying another game.
Hey, let's talk about it, though. Jameis Winston, he threw 150 yards in the air and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, 5 tutties.
Who is the guy that we've seen his whole career? He's not a guy who's going to manage the game and just be efficient. And I'm just going to make the red zone play, and I'm going to throw the ball 20 times, and we're not going to make any mistakes, and our run game is going to overwhelm me. No.
That's not him.
He was the dude who said, I'm going to throw for 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and another 4 bag of crab legs on the side. So I think that he's going to keep up this torrid efficiency, that every game he's going to be out here throwing a touchdown on a third of his passes?
No.
Terry, I do not. And when the ball yarn starts to unravel and butter starts to get all in the creases of them crab legs and start to get succulent.
You wouldn't know anything about that, sir. You're allergic to seafood. I don't want to hear it.
We've all seen it on Instagram.
Look, the only thing... Oh, go ahead. You want to keep going?
No, I was just saying, all it takes, is a little bit for everything to start unraveling. And now, we're picking on Jameis Winston, who's making a lot of bad decisions. We're talking about he doesn't have the skill on the outside that Drew Brees used to have. We're making all these manufactured excuses for him. We're only 1 3-pick game away from that, Terry. All right? Don't let the 5 touchdowns fool you.
No, that's true. That's true. But like I said, I wasn't talking about that game for a reason. The only thing that excites me about Jameis Winston is that he beat out Taysom Hill for the job. It honestly was a silver platter for Taysom Hill to get the quarterback job, and he beat him out to get it. So, I mean, that gives me a little bit of optimism for his future in New Orleans because, nobody thought Jameis Winston was going to start.
I mean, Terry, you're absolutely right, man. Talk about David versus Goliath, right? Jameis Winston, this no-name, out of Florida State, nobody knows who he is, didn't win the Heisman Trophy, He goes to a team and understudies underneath one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and then he conquers the insurmountable odds and beats out a guy who hasn't played quarterback since college, who is listed as a tight end week 1 on fantasy.
Hey, they wanted to give it to him.
He did it.
They wanted to give it to him. I don't want to hear it. They wanted him to get the job.
He won the fucking Heisman, Terry.
Who cares? That's in college. That's all null and void.
All right.
It's over.
Let me ask you this one in the NFL. How many players have thrown for 5,000 yards in a season?
I don't know. 4? 2?
Okay. Is Taysom Hill on that list?
No. He's not.
So I expected Jameis Winston to beat him out because Jameis Winston is a quarterback who knows how to throw the ball down the field and not a souped-up version of Tim Tebow who fucking stones down the bayou.
I hear you.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.